Hey guys, it's Eric here at Farpoint Restorations. Tonight, we'll be talking about Marvel Mystery Oil and if it's safe to use in diesel vehicles. Let's do it.
There's always something that needs a little fixing on Farpoint Farms.
So here we are, and about a year ago I put out a video talking about Marvel Mystery Oil and just basically commenting on whether or not it's worth it. The short answer to that is yes, it does work very well in both oil and gas. So I get a lot of questions about it, talking about modern vehicles, and I'll get into that in a separate video. But in this case, a lot of the questions were asking, hey, is it safe to put this in diesel fuel? And the answer to that is yes, it is. It is safe to use in diesel. But what's weird is, and it's almost like it's more important to use it in diesel than it is in regular gasoline, in my opinion. So these new gallons that come, that I buy, these are plastic, and they don't really mention anything about diesel in them, which is kind of interesting. And I do have this old bottle here that I bought years ago that I just refilled because the new bottles, the plastic tends to crack and they'll leak. So I just top it off with this and then I put it in the vehicles. But if it does say anything about diesel, I can't read it because the writing is too small for me at this point. The other day I was out and I picked up 4 of these at a flea market, brand new, in a box, and they're full. So I was super psyched to get these. But on the back of it, added to diesel fuel is written in there. And I'll read what it says and then I'll tell you how I already knew this, but this is important. This is kind of cool. So adding it to diesel fuel, Marvel Mystery Oil increases mileage. It also cleans and keeps injection pumps, injectors, and nozzles free from any fuel residue. Reduces upper cylinder wear, gives longer piston ring life, and assures less frequent overhauls. It also slows the souring of fuel and lubricates the entire fuel pump system. So there it is, right from Marvel's mouth. But let me tell you why I know that it's a good thing to use and why I started recommending diesel customers use this stuff sometime right around 2008. The EPA decided, hey, the sulfur that we're putting in these diesel fuel is bad for the environment, so we're going to have ultra low sulfur diesel fuel. And while it's safe for older vehicles to use this stuff and mandatory for newer vehicles to use it if it's a diesel, the sulfur is a lubricant. And so the loss of that lubricant means that now our engine is going to wear quicker. All those components, the injector nozzles, the fuel, if you have a mechanical fuel distributor, that's going to wear more quickly, injection pumps, all that stuff, right? So if you're going to add something to it to kind of offset that, Marvel Mystery Oil. It burns 100% and it adds all those lubricating properties back in it and probably plus some. So it's actually probably better than the old sulfur diesel fuel that was available. So if you have a vehicle that is made before 2008, before DEF systems came into play, yes, definitely want to be adding this to, in pretty decent quantity of this to your fuel. And that's going to help restore all that lost lubricating property that disappeared when the low sulfur fuel was introduced. If you have a newer vehicle and you are worried that it's not going to be safe for you to burn this, let me take the worry out of you and tell you that, yeah, without a doubt, it is totally safe to add a few ounces for every 10 gallons. I think it's 4 ounces per 10 gallons is what they recommend. But you can even go heavier on this, I promise you. Now, my Kubota is a 2012 BX. I got a 25 BX, and it's a 2012 model, so it's made for low sulfur. I've been running this in it since I got it, and it had about 300 hours on it now. It's got about 550, 575 on it now. No issues whatsoever with it, and everything is running great. And in fact, in part 2 of this video, I'll make a follow-up to this video, and I'll show you just how safe that Marvel is to use in diesel engines. I'll give you a little comparison of with and without, and we'll take a look at some of the lubricating properties and how safe it is to use. But if you have a diesel vehicle, I don't care if it's a road vehicle, an 18-wheeler, off-road tractor, whatever you're using, a generator, you definitely want to consider adding this, especially now that we have low sulfur fuels here in the United States. I guess that'll do it for tonight, my friends. I'll see you next time. Take care.